All right. We're going to get started here. This is my podcast. Be quiet, grown folks is talking. And my name is Alan C. Not the smartest person in the world. I do know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. I'm a work in progress. Um, this is going to be another sports segment of my podcast. And once again, I have a young man that I've watched grow up and watch him how active he was in the sports thing scene. He's always had a baseball bat or glove in his hand. So and he has his own podcast. I'm gonna let him introduce himself as I did before. So, Dre, there you take it away.
Appreciate it for having me on again, big homie. Sportsway with Dre Day podcast is the name. Y'all can find me on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. I'm on a couple of places, but again, appreciate you for having me on, big homie. Appreciate it.
All right, not a problem. Appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna get right into this. I'm gonna play this little segment for Stephen A. Smith. I'm not really a big fan of his, but I haven't even watched this video. But I know that it's about Brent Favre and the money he took and that whole scandal. Um, like I said, I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith fan, but I'm gonna let him rock. I want to see what he has to say about this. So we're gonna rock his video right now. All right.
All right.
Let's let it rock.
Former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant helped former NFL quarterback Brett Favre obtain welfare funds in order to help build a new volleyball center at the University of Southern Mississippi. Favre's daughter played volleyball at Southern Miss. It also is where Favre was a star quarterback. State auditors determined nonprofit leaders misspent at least $77 million in welfare funds in the largest case of public fraud in Mississippi history. The text show Favre, Nancy New, and Phil Bryant discussing how to divert at least $5 million in welfare funds to build a volleyball stadium at Southern Miss. Stephen A., your reaction to the latest on this story?
Well, my first reaction is that Brett Favre looks sleazy as hell. This is one of the more egregious things that you could possibly fathom. And the thing about it that really, really vexes me is that I'm going to say it. Most folks may not say it. I'm going to say it. On so many occasions, the black athlete laments the fact that the slightest thing that happens, they're paraded all over the news and all over the airwaves. It's not to say that Sports Center didn't touch it or whatever, but I certainly haven't heard too many people in the profession that I know, that I have seen talking on a plethora of issues over the years, say anything about Brett Favre. And I know he might be on the competition for the competition or whatever the case may be. But let me tell you something. I applaud my brother Shannon Sharp for calling this out the way that he did yesterday. Because I'll be damned going to do it today. I didn't even know about it. I wasn't paying any attention to it. And then all of a sudden I see this stuff coming up. I couldn't have been more appalled. Let's put this in its proper perspective. The golden boy Brett Favre. I mean, remember him, Molly? Oh, look at him jumping to the arms of his offensive lineman. Oh, look at him falling down and flipping the ball underhanded. He's the little kids in him. The game never leaves him. And everybody's applauding. Here you are, state of Mississippi. Involved scandal where you're bleeding money from potential welfare recipients. People who are poor and impoverished and struggling for every nickel and dime they have, scratching and clawing to eat, to have a roof over their head, to have clothes on their back, as recently to have water. This man is involved in a scandal where money is being taken from them. This is bad. Now, there was a point where he owed $1.1 million, and he's caught via text messages asking for help to get him out of that jam. You've got an additional $5 million that was thrown into the university for a volleyball court. Oh, by the way, his daughter was a member of the volleyball team. So there's some nepotism there in terms of favoritism. You got connections with the governor of the state. And because of that, you bled perks that ultimately facilitated you having millions of dollars in your pocket at this point, allegedly. But nevertheless, it's been talked about by the Washington Post. It's been talked about by numerous news organizations throughout this country. He is in the throes of all of this, and none of us have said a word. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and content, subscribe.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I had my phone. I had my thing mute. So once again, this is where we at. I don't like to script my podcast. You know that we just do it off the cuff, just like we sitting down, we talking, we having a conversation. This is what it is. I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith fan. I don't like the way he's covered other people, and particularly Kaepernick. I didn't like the way he covered Kaepernick when Kaepernick decided to stage his own workout at a facility of his choice, doing all the filming. He paid for it. So I never understood why he's seen a problem with that, or he had a problem with that, or had a problem with Kaepernick at all. See, and now everybody's crickets. After everything done came out, and all this bullshit. Now everybody's cricket about Kaepernick. You don't even really hear nothing positive or negative, or I mean, nothing negative or positive about Cap. But
Right.
what he just said just now, I applaud him. I gotta give him his due. He hit the points. He said he said, I want to see if he keeps up this energy. We'll see. But what's your opinion on it?
Well, I remember when I first heard about him speaking up about it, and I'm glad that he acknowledged Shannon Sharp, because when it comes to sports media, especially at that time when it was being talked about, nobody knew about it until it was on Undisputed. That was the first time I even knew about it. Shannon Sharp and Skip, which is Undisputed, they spoke about it first. And then the next day, Stephen A. spoke about it. So I appreciate the fact that he shouted him out on his show, even though they're in competition. So he a real one for that. But they both hit the nail right on the coffin. Like, you got to be a low-ass motherfucker to do some shit like that. For one, you stealing from a state where you're from. That's number one. Mississippi is not probably, it is the poorest state in this country. It's 50 states. Mississippi is the poorest. And for you to do this, it's shameful, it's selfish, it's heartless, it's any negative word you can think of. But then again, in the words of Paul Mooney, late great Paul Mooney, when you have the complexion for the protection for the collection, you can do shit. You can do shit like that. Because what's so crazy is, I think probably 2 weeks ago, a lot of the news outlets was talking about it. I know Channel 4, they was talking about it. I think CNN was talking about it or whatever. But I'm like, why is this not getting the same attention that the coach from the Celtics? Like, why is it not being spoken about in that magnitude? Because I remember when Michael Vick did his situation back in the day, that shit was everywhere. It wasn't just sports news. That shit was on UPN 9. That shit was on ABC. That shit was on CNN,
Yo,
MSNBC.
listen, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I gotta say this because we have a Senate candidate in Pennsylvania, this clown Mehmet Oz. He's been involved with over thousands of animals being mistreated and killed, including dogs, like 300 and something dogs. Nobody's saying nothing. It's okay because supposedly it was for medical reasons, which we know is some BS because Dr. Oz, he doesn't deal in real medicine. So I really like to know what were they doing? What kind of experiments? What were they doing to all these animals? And how come all of a sudden animals aren't important no more? Dogs aren't important. If we're doing killing them for research, we can just kill them up, do whatever we want with them. But a brother doing a little dog fighting, which me personally, I don't condone that, but I understand that where he came from, that was the culture. That's what they did in his hood. All right. And I gotta say, when I was younger, couldn't no live animals walk through my hoods unless somebody owned them. If somebody something probably was gonna happen to them. It is what it is. That's how it was. That's how it is in the hood. That's how it was in the hood. But let's get back to Favre. Go ahead.
Oh,
I cut you off.
I mean, again, like I salute both of them for even bringing it up. I just wish that it would get more attention than it should, because I mean, listen, I'm not trying to hear the whole, he's not playing no more, he's retired, yada yada yada. That don't mean nothing to me. It's sports. It's sports, because I can guarantee you this. Let there have been Terrell Owens that did some grimy shit. Let there have been Michael Irvin, who has a job for the NFL Network and shows up on ESPN from time to time. Let it been him had did some shit like this. He'd have lost his job already. But when it comes to him, no charges have been filed, no indictment has come down, no nothing. I'm truly convinced there ain't nothing gonna happen to him.
Did he even lose endorsements? Did he even lose endorsements? Like Copperfit, that's one of his big endorsements. Did he even lose that?
I haven't been seeing the commercials on TV, so probably so. Probably, and I think the other one was what was the jeans called? Wangler or some shit like that. So
I don't know.
I'm assuming he's probably lost those because I haven't been seeing the commercials. Because the Copperfit one I remember because him and Jerry Rice was doing that as a joint as a joint commercial. So yeah, I think he might have lost those, but. You know, you got people out there talking about, oh, he should be out the Hall of Fame, yada, yada, yada. I wouldn't go that far because at the end of the day, you got people that's done crazy shit that's in the Hall of Fame. What he did on the field is what he did on the field. I wouldn't take that from him. But as far as all this outside stuff, he's a sleazeball. Like, whatever negative thing you could think of, that's what he is. And then you texting the governor talking about, I'm basically paraphrasing. He basically was letting it be known in the message that he did something wrong.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
He was doing it wrong.
Yeah.
It just baffles.
My thing is, it's not only him, because it's coming out that the GOAT, my man that used to be, what is it, Brady?
Yeah, Brady. Yeah, my God.
He did some sleazeball shit too. But not as bad, but still, why are you
it's still like you shouldn't be asking for none of that shit with the money that you got. With the money that you got, with the money that your wife has, your net worth, there should be no reason on God's green earth on why you asking for that PPP loan shit. Like there should be no reason on why with the money that y'all make. But again, I'm gonna give the OG his flowers, even though he ain't here no more. But I've always been a fan of his since I've been paying attention to comedy. his old saying is complexion for the protection for the collection. When your skin protects you, you can do shit like that. And it's funny that you mentioned Brady, and everybody knows how much I love Brady. I mean,
I
the
know.
GOAT, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna be objective when it comes to this dude. And I'm not jacking that you getting the PPP loan. You shouldn't be asking for it with the money that you got. But I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Ain't nothing gonna happen to him neither. Why? Because his skin protects him.
Well, in his case, it's not right, but it's probably legal. To be honest, it's not right, but it's probably legal. Okay, so here's a little different, but I'm wondering if he did that, what other skeletons are in the closet? That's my thing. If he did that, what else? You know, because normally when there's corruption, it's like an iceberg. You just see the tip of it. You don't really see everything underneath. It's just like
Right
right now with Trump, all his corruption is coming out, but his iceberg was so big, the tip of it was so big. Like, why is anybody surprised with anything that comes out about him? And you know, at the end of the day, this world is upside down. Because I want to
very
segue.
much.
I want to
Very
segue
much.
real quick, but real short, because I don't want to delve. I'm going to do another segment on Kanye, but I want to segue into that because what people don't understand, a lot of people was trying to defend Kanye.
I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people with this defending this dude, man. Like it irks my soul. Like I be seeing the comments that people be making about this dude, and everything is about defending him. Like there's nothing to defend. Like this dude is out his mind. He's been out his mind for years. In my honest opinion, I think it all started ever since he's been with Kim. Like everybody uses this excuse. Oh, he lost his mother. This, that, and the third. I know a bunch of people who've lost their mothers. Luckily for me, I still have mine. But and look at you. God bless. God bless. And they don't act the way that this dude act. But the thing is that when you have that kind of money, which he got boats of money, he's in the billions. And when you have that fan base that is heavy, you can say and do the outlandish shit, and people will make excuses for it.
Yo,
the dude said slavery was a choice. People defended him. He came out with the Trump head. People defended him. Now he got this White Lives Matter shirt. People defended him. It gets to the point where it's like, yo, y'all got to call a spade and stop being puppets to these celebrities. Now I know I have some celebs that I love and adore. Like, everybody knows how much I love Hope. But if I know that you're doing some shit that I don't rock with, I'm gonna call you out on it, whether I love you or not. This dude here, I've been stopped fucking with Kanye. Been stopped fucking with him. I haven't been a supporter of this for years.
I don't like none of his clothes. I think they look weird. It looked like some shit they took off for a homeless person, if you ask me. And the other stuff, is common. Is a costume. It's like clown. You got these big ass shoes like clown. It's like clown. But my thing is, and the segue from Favre and Brady to him and Trump is greed. Like, how much money do you need? I understand that you be doing this to make money, but God, how much money do you need? I was going to use the phrase that if you condoning what he's doing, then you're the type of person that might slap your mother for some money. You feel me? Because you ready to throw everybody under the bus. Right now, he's got a beef with everybody, even the people that made him the money. He going after Jews. I already told somebody before I seen that. I said He's going to take this too far. He's playing a dangerous game. And at the end of the day, with all that money, he's not happy. That's why he's going at everybody. And the people talking about how strong he is. Well, where was y'all when that dude started banging his wife and he cried like a baby? Where was his strength then? Where was his strength then? And the genius part, like, yes, you are a certain kind of genie, like an idiot savant. You got it going on with that music, but when it comes to regular life, you're not really holding it down. And people automatically equate money with intelligence. That it's not. You got a lot of idiots that are rich beyond imagination and will continue. That dude Elon Musk, that little business with Twitter, he's not that smart. Why would you even ever? Okay, I know you got enough money to do anything you want. I mean, you already taking over the space situation, because he really is. It's not going to be no space situation without Elon Musk. He done
Right.
cornered that now. So he's going to always be rich. He's going to have money. He's never going to be able to spend. Nobody in his generation in the next 200 years is going to be able to spend the money that he's going to have. That being said, what made you think it was all right to pay 2 or 3 times the money for something? And then when you finally came to your senses, you said you're not going to do it, and now they're taking you to court to do it, and now you're saying you're going to do it. How is he really that smart? And for what I understand, Tesla was not originally his idea. He's like a lot of other rich people who benefit off of other people's intellectual property. And I didn't even know that the originators of Tesla, I just seen this yesterday, ain't even involved with Tesla no more. And that's crazy. But that happens all the time. Because just take the greatest advantage that this country say they have, Edison. He stole other people's inventions and put his name on it. Just like Trump. He's another Trump putting his name on shit. And it seems like black folks want to have a black Trump, and they want it to be Kanye. They want Kanye to be the black Trump. No matter what he does, they're going to defend it because he's rich. And that's just straight retarded.
It's sad.
I posted in Facebook, like, what gain, there's a saying, like, for this, what gains a man if he gains the world and loses his soul? Like you can be a sellout and you can make a lot of money at it, but how are you going to sleep at night? So that's where I'm at with it. And like, I'm not bemoaning him making money, and I know he's probably doing this to make money, but damn, it's all money ain't good money.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. They already say people sell their souls for money, and look at the way you acting. Like you selling your soul for what? His mother got to be turning over in her grave.
You know what? I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. She gotta be turning over in her grave, watching this asshole act the way he act, because that's exactly what I'm gonna call him. Like I kid you not. I told people when he got with that girl, that boy world was gonna crash upside down. They seem to do that to all.
And I have been right. But I will commend her, though. I will commend her. I'm not the biggest fan of hers, but I will commend her. When he was getting too crazy with it, she said, you know what? I want no parts of this. I want out of this. So I commend her for that. And then what he do? Make threats to the dude that she's smashing now. Well, maybe if you was handling your business, then maybe you wouldn't have had to have that problem.
If you was that genius and you was so strong. But let's get off of him.
Yeah, I'm about tired of him. Like now I see why Jay don't rock with him no more.
I know, but actually he does, because Jay has something to do with him turning. Do you realize 6 years ago? That's why I gave him some credit. 6 years ago, he was broke. 6, 7 years ago. What's the name had to help him pay for his wedding or some shit like that. Drake, and now he's a multi-billionaire, and that's incredible. It really is.
On the music side, musical genius. Can't even take that away from him.
He's taking the fashion world by storm. But
What
we don't understand is that the most people that's buying his clothes and his stuff, and Dr. Richie, I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Richie, he pointed that out. It's not us.
No, it's not us.
It's white folks. It's the same folks he was sucking up when he wore the hat and when he just said what he just said with that White Lives Matter. That's what that shit is about. Him sucking up the white people. But I get it. They the ones who's spending the most money. So I get that. But at the end of the day, how much money do you need? Do you have to keep selling yourself or selling out for more money after you're a multi-billionaire? You talk about you could do whatever you want. Okay, so why wouldn't you want to do the right thing and uplift your people? You got kids coming up. Okay, yeah, they half white, but they half black too. And we know they're going to be good no matter what. But do you want them later on seeing videos of you saying all this crazy shit and acting that way? Do you want that to be your legacy? I mean, I understand your legacy is going to be that you super rich too, but like I said, how do you sleep at night? Because I'm not super rich, and I sleep pretty good. The only reason that I don't sleep good is because I'm getting old and my body's in pain. But I'm not looking over my shoulder. I'm not worried about when somebody's going to come do something to me, or when the world is going to be tired of me and cancel me, and he end up like some recluse, like Ronnie Spector. You know who Ronnie Spector was, right?
The name sounds familiar.
He's this old time producer dude that first came with the big sound for rock and roll and recording it, and had this big sound. He was a big time producer, and he became a recluse. He killed 2 women. He only got charged for 1, but 2 women died in his home under mysterious circumstances. He got convicted for 1, and he's doing time now. So he got all that money, but he's in jail right now. And he was rich up the, he was mad rich. So Kanye need to know that when these white folks is tired of you, they will get rid of you, no matter how much money you got. Just look at Bill Cosby. Just look at Bill Cosby, and look at R. Kelly with all his fame and everything. They not only took his time, but they took his money too. How that nigga broke? How he broke? Yeah. So it can happen to anybody. But like I said, let's get off of him. What I want to talk about is, I was surprised. I talked to a friend of mine. He's a big Met fan, and we was watching the game the other night. They out of it, right? The Mets are out. They lost last night, right?
Oh, so yeah. They lost last night in horrible fashion.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed watching them lose the way they did, because all they do is talk smack about, oh, they this, they that, they better than the Yankees. They gonna do this, they gonna do that, and then you lose. You have more wins than us. I give them that. They had more wins than us. Okay. You had a chance to win your division. You choked at that. And then in the playoffs, you have home field advantage. You get eliminated. And then to make it even worse, you lose at home. That's number 1. You lose at the crib. Number 2, you don't score no runs. And then number 3, throughout the whole game, you only get 1 hit. So that's embarrassing, Yeah. But, hey, it's all good, because the Yankees are in the playoffs. The big brothers is going to show the little brothers how it's done. Because,
well, you know what I was surprised about, because I hear it in you too. I was always like this. I'm a New York fan. I'm a new fan of all New York teams. That's how I've always
done it. But I get it though.
Okay, but I'm just saying this is for just for me.
Yeah,
I've always been there. I don't pick who's hot, who's not. I'm a New York fan. That's who I'm repping. If they're not playing well, then I'm not interested. If they're not playing
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, so that being said, I was surprised that the Met fan had a problem with the Yankees because when I asked him about Judge,
It's been that way for years.
but I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
All right,
But
I would tell you
when I asked him about Judge, how he felt about it, he was like he didn't give a damn about it. He don't care about like this man just broke a hell of a record, and then on top of that, he's half black. He's half black, so I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm proud that he did that. Glad that he did that.
So am I.
Also,
so am
I want to give him more props than them other people. And you know who I'm talking about, and you know why I'm talking about that. Because I feel like now I don't know for a fact because I don't see him talking about taking steroids or anything like that. So I'm like, his breaking the home run record is more legitimate than Bonds and all them other cats. And I bring up Bonds in particular because, like we was talking about it, I'm gonna if I could get a clip real quick of a picture of Barry Bonds in the beginning of his career and now.
Major
Because
difference.
it is
Major
so
difference.
shit. I should have brought this up before we even got on the thing. Like I said, sometime it is to have shit set up already. All right. Well, here's some pictures right here. I don't know if you could see them. Maybe you can't.
Not right now.
Sharing it. No, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up right now. I try to anyway. What am I doing here? Like I said, I don't. This equipment ain't been acting the best. Can you see that?
All right, it's doing what it did before with the screen on the top and us on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to enlarge this. I don't know how much I can enlarge it, and it's not really showing what I wanted, what I wanted to see. But that's basically like the difference. Just these two first pictures, the difference in the size of them. It's obvious to me. I don't basically care what nobody say. He was taking steroids. It's no doubt in my mind. Because you don't change your body's situation, don't change like that. Just because that doesn't happen. It just really doesn't. So my thing is that this kid Judd is the true home run king. If you ask me, and that's my opinion about it. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, I mean, the bias in me, I'm gonna say that he's the home run king, at least for the American League, because I mean Bonds, Sosa, and McGuire, they're in the National League. Now, the all-time record, obviously, is something different. Now, obviously, he hit the home runs. We can't take him away from him. Hook or crook, we can't take him away from him. But for me, I feel like Aaron Judge is, I honestly think that 62, for me, I think 62 is the number because it was legitimate. It was no cheating. It was none of that. Now, I'm not going to argue with somebody that feels like Bonds is the home run king because at the end of the day, he hit the 73 home runs. The networks benefited from it. Major League Baseball benefited from it.
What? I just seen that he basically when they had that home run situation. I didn't know baseball was on such a decline, and
yes,
they
it
actually
was.
brought it back.
I actually said this on my podcast, Sports with Dray Day podcast. Go check it out. I actually said this on my pod. Probably, I think it was my last episode I dropped, which I dropped early late last week. I said that how that home run chase with Sosa and McGuire, because that was 98. I was in junior high school when that shit popped off. That year, they saved baseball. Now, mind you, you had 98, 99, 2000, 2001. You had my Yankees winning all these championships. We went 3 straight years winning championships. Baseball was on the decline at the time. The only thing that saved it was the home run chase. So for that alone, I mean, okay, granted, the steroid era, majority of the people was using. A lot of people was using. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that era is what saved baseball. So yeah, it was wrong. Yeah, it was messed up. Cheating is cheating. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for that era, nobody would really give 2 shits about baseball right now. So I just think off that, the record is the record. I don't have to sit here and be on some, oh, I'm Team Bonds. But at the end of the day, home runs is home runs. The record is the record. But at the end of the day, you're going to have some people that say Bonds is the all-time home run king. You're going to have the older heads about your age or older than you that's going to say that the late great Hank Aaron, he got the record still, because there's people out there that still say he's the home run king. They go with his 715 over Bonds' 750 something home runs.
Okay. I didn't know that, but okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it's two debates. The debate is, does Bonds hold the all-time single season record? Because he got 73, McGuire had 70. So Bonds broke his record. So Bonds got 73, McGuire got 70, Sosa got 66, and now Judge got 62. And then the all-time record, because Judge, he ain't there yet. He ain't nowhere near there yet.
Yeah.
Bonds got 700 and plus. Henry Aaron, I think, got 715. I think Babe Ruth got, 714. And then Albert Pujols just hit. He just got over 700 home runs. So there's 4 players in the history of the game with 700 plus home runs, but only 3 of them we can emphatically say did it with no enhancements, no steroids, no nothing. And unfortunately, Bonds is not one of them. But at the end of the day, he saved baseball with the baseball runs, with the steroid era. So
yeah, you can't take
it away from him. Now, their get back is by not putting him in the Hall of Fame. But anybody with a right mind that knows baseball knows that he belongs in the Hall of Fame. And
so they're not gonna put him, McGuire, or Sosa in the Hall of Fame.
They're shunning them. I think in baseball, I think you have 10 years of eligibility to make the Hall of Fame. And I think the year Jeter made it. I think that was probably his last year to make it. I think it was probably his last year, or probably a few more years after that, he didn't make it. But the crazy thing is, you got dudes that's in the Hall of Fame that have used steroids. Like, I got a list of these dudes off the top of my head. David Ortiz, Big Papi, he just went in. Known steroid user. Pudge Rodriguez.
So how do they justify that?
That's why it baffles me that he's not in. Because you got dudes that are in that was using steroids. So why is this man not going in? And not for nothing, he was a Hall of Famer before he even started using. Some of these dudes, they had to use it to make the Hall.
They had the
He
stats.
had the stats already. He had the stats already. Like, I'm not the biggest Bonds fan. Like, Griffey was my man. Like, Griffey and Jeter, those are my 2 favorites. Like, of all time, Jeter's number 1, Griffey is 2. And quiet is kept.
Griffey's in, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like, quiet is kept. If Griffey would have not got hurt, if he wouldn't have had those injuries, I think he would have been the home run king. I say that to this day. And not for nothing, that home run chase with McGwire and Sosa, that season, he was a part of that shit too. But then he declined because of the injuries. But yeah. It's unfortunate.
I think
it's
about
unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I think about like how like I told you before, I was never a big Kobe fan. Never was a big Kobe fan until recently, really, till I started like listening to some of his interviews and
Yeah.
rewatching some of his games and realizing, because I just always thought he was a chucker. I felt like he shot the ball too much. But then when I heard him explain why that was, I said, "Oh, I get it now." You
Yeah.
put in extra work. You put in, and everybody says it, that he was the hardest working dude out there. And he said, "Look, I'm in the gym twice as much as anybody, so I should shoot the ball twice as much." And I said, "You know what? Okay." That makes sense. That makes sense. I feel you. I would feel the same way. If I
Yeah.
was in the gym, like they say, you wasn't with me in the gym, he was that. So when I understood that, then I understood seeing how many games he weighed and see the love for it when he wrote that poem, when he won that Grammy, what he won, an Oscar. He won an Oscar.
Yeah,
I
Oscar,
said,
yeah.
this nigga was about that life, and I get it now why they put him in the same. I think he should be in the same lane as Jordan. I think they were two of a kind, but they was the same. They understood each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you could put Alvin Iverson into that boat too. They wanted to win, and that's all it was about, and that's what they was about, is trying to win. Iverson never had the team around him to
Right.
really do what he needed to do, but he was out there every night trying. He
Oh
was
yeah.
giving it
Oh
all.
yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
left it all on the
Absolutely.
floor,
Absolutely.
and you got to respect that. But this is becoming a long set. We could keep this going on all night, but we
It's
right
funny that
around
you
40
mentioned
minutes.
it's funny that you mentioned the Kobe thing, because I was just watching the Redeem Team thing last night on Netflix, and they talked about, how USA for years was struggling to win gold medals. Like, remember in 04 when we went and we got the bronze, like from 04 to like 06, we couldn't win shit. Like, we couldn't win Olympics, we couldn't win world championships, we
They
couldn't
wasn't
win
letting
none of
the
that.
pros play, right? They wasn't letting the
Yeah.
pros play then, right?
No,
Or
no, no,
was
no,
it?
no. No, it was pros. It was pros.
Pros was losing in the Olympics?
Yeah. Yeah. Like when the Dream Team formed in 92, every year after every Olympic after that, it went to being the pros. So when 2004 came, remember this was after 9/11. And at that time, 04, we was dealing with the war with Afghanistan and Iraq. So a lot of players didn't want to go. So I'm watching it last night and I'm looking at the list of some of these players that were supposed to be on the team. They turned it down. Shaq was supposed to be on the team. McGrady was supposed to be on the team. We had a couple of dudes that were supposed to be on the team, but they turned it down because of security reasons. We lose in 04. We get the bronze medal. 2006 comes. We play in the world championships. We lose that. It takes for Kobe to come to the team. And this is what baffles me with people when they talk about, LeBron team. No, the 2008
let
team
me
wasn't
tell you.
LeBron's team.
I
It was Kobe's
remember
team.
LeBron said, he did an interview and he said at the beginning when they first started on that Kobe came to them and told them the other team that was playing, his teammate was playing on it, the big dude, the big white boy. And
Power
LeBron
talk.
said he came to them and he said, "Look, I know what they're going to do. I know the play that they're going to run, and LaSalle's going to be the last thing." He says, "I'm going to run through him, And they all said, "Nah, you ain't gonna do that. That's your teammate. You're
And,
not.
and,
You're not. You're
and,
not
and
finna
yes, he
do that.
did.
You're not
And
finna do
yes,
that."
the
And I
hell he
watched the
did.
play, and he tried to run through him, and that set the message that we are not playing, and y'all ain't got a chance. We gonna do this. He let them know from the first. That was the first play of the game.
But not for nothing, the message was sent even before that. Like it's a great documentary. It's a great documentary, and it makes you not only appreciate the game of basketball, but it also makes you appreciate being an American. You know what I mean? Because for years we always felt when they come to this basketball shit, we better than everybody.
It was our sport.
Like it was out. Like it was
made
our
basketball was
thing.
made
Every
in New
time
York.
we in the
United
Olympics, we coming home with the gold. And then for one Olympics and 2 world championships, we didn't bring it. So then it took for Kobe to show up and set the tone because, again, I mean, some of the stuff I already knew already without the documentary. Like they was talking about how the first few seconds of scrimmage, he diving for loose balls and he's, running to save the basketball from going out of bounds. So he set the tone real quick. There was another part in the documentary. I think they just arrived in Vegas and they went out partying. The whole team USA went partying, except for one person. And that one person was Kobe. They said that he was in the gym while they partying. They get back to the hotel. LeBron and Melo was like that. How when they got back to the hotel, Kobe was getting ready to go to the gym. They like, yo, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Like, the hell you going to the gym at this time? And he just set that tone and he brought that Mamba mentality to Team USA. And I honestly think had he not been on that team, we wouldn't have won the gold. So it kills me when people say that team was LeBron's team, because no, it wasn't. Because the last I checked, the teams that LeBron was on in the Olympics, we weren't winning the gold. It wasn't until the Black Mamba showed up that we won that gold.
I seen LeBron himself say it. He said that Kobe set the tone.
Facts.
When Kobe told him, he said, "Nah, you ain't fitting to do that. You're not gonna do that." Till he did it.
And I remember, I remember watching that gold medal. I remember, in fact, it wasn't even the gold medal game. It was the preliminary round. They played them, I think, before the medal round began. They played Spain. And I remember he did that shit. I was like, yo, this nigga did this shit to Gasol. Now, mind you, he put some force into it too, and they didn't even help him up.
No, he almost stepped over him, which is very disrespectful. But he didn't go that far. But he went far enough.
But Gasol knew what it. But Gasol knew what it was.
Yeah, he respected it.
He respected it. That was his teammate. Like he's going to do whatever he can to give his team and himself the edge. And when he did that, that just like he did this to his teammate. So if he did this to him, what the hell you think he's going to do to me?
Yeah. Like I said, I've grown so much to respect that man. It's incredible, man. He was a hell of a talent.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate.
20 years with the same team. Are you kidding me? Who does?
Yeah, I mean, it's been done before. I mean, my man Duncan has done it. Dirk has done it. I think they're like the only 3 that I could think of off the top of my head that has stayed with one team, at least in basketball. Like, obviously, Brady did it with the Patriots in football. Jeter did it in baseball. But as far as basketball, I think those are the only 3 players off the top of my head that stayed with one team and won multiple championships and did their thing with them. Like, I salute him. I mean,
I think if Shaq stays there, he would have won more champions than
He'd won more. He'd won more. Hell,
Jordan.
I hate to admit it, but I think so too. But again, but Shaq said it mad times. He was like that how when they lost to the Pistons in the championship, he knew that after that season he was leaving because they wanted to go young. Like they're not gonna give me the money I want. They want to go young. So they're gonna stick with Kobe. Just accommodate me. Send me where I want to go. And that's what they did because Shaq said he wanted to go to Miami. They sent him to Miami, and he won a championship there. But I definitely agree. If they would have stayed together, they definitely.
No, he regretted.
They definitely would have won.
He regretted. He regretted leaving Miami with old boy what's his name that got hurt?
Wait,
Penny.
Oh,
Did he play with Penny?
That's Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was in Orlando, he regretted that he didn't stay for that either. He said those were the two major mistakes he made in his career because he thinks he would have won a bunch with Penny. Well,
he wouldn't have won with Penny because Jordan would have been his problem.
Yeah. Okay.
He got Jordan the first go, but that was because Jordan didn't he came at the middle of the season. Now, at the end of the day, you're not thinking about that. You're like, okay, listen, I played him in the playoffs and I beat him. But you're not thinking like, okay, would I have beat him had he played the full season? Nobody talks about that aspect. But it looks good on your resume to say that you beat Mike. But what happened the next year when you had to deal with him the whole year? When y'all played him in the playoffs, I didn't even win a game. I remember that playoffs. Like, it was bragging rights in my crib because I was the Jordan fan. My twin was the Magic fan. So when they beat the Bulls, it was bragging rights. So I said, all right, cool. We're going to see y'all next year. And what happened the next year? We played them, swept them, and not only did we sweep them, we won the championship. So it's double bragging. Because at least when y'all beat us, y'all got to the championship and got swept. But when we beat y'all, we got to the finals and got the job done. So, hey, it is what it is.
Absolutely. Listen, man, once again, I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you.
Always.
And appreciate you showed up for the segment. And like I said before, we'll do it again. We'll definitely do it again.
Most definitely.
So look, give your information again before you sign out.
Dray Day is the name. Sportswear with Dray Day podcast is the podcast. I am on not all social media outlets. I'm on Facebook, Dray Day, Twitter, Dray Day 1985, Instagram, Dray Day 1985, or Sportswear with Dray Day podcast. The link is in the bio. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. You can also download the Anchor app. Plenty of places that you can listen to the podcast. I got about 276 episodes. Not to brag or nothing, but I enjoy I enjoy this podcast thing. Like it's a safe haven thing for me with all the stuff that's going on in this world. It's relaxing for me to be able to talk about what I enjoy, which is sports. It gets my mind off of everything that's going on. It's like a stress reliever, you could say.
And there's so much shit going on. Yo, man, you be safe, man. I look forward to
talking to you. You too, big homie. You too.
So with that, we out.